Live from Los Angeles, here's Everyway Woman.
Welcome back for our weekend review. Now, ladies, we have had a week.
Yes, we
And
have.
I'm going to start with you, Liza, Bert, and Ernie.
Oh, girl.
I had to start with you because I just needed to take a chill on that one.
Okay, my thing is, Bert and Ernie, why'd we have to make everything a freaking political statement?
Thank
can't
you.
kids just be
Can
kids?
I get an amen?
Thank you. And I agree with that 100%. Bert and Ernie have been roommates since I was a child. What is wrong with that?
Right.
And you can assume whatever you want to.
Yeah. But the thing is, if
Yeah.
all same-sex roommates are gay, then what? Are now
Then that means
Laverne
I'm
and
gay.
Shirley married, and Austin and Felix are married, and
Batman and Robin.
Right.
Like,
That means
no,
everybody who has a female, if they're
Exactly.
female roommates or male roommates, then clearly we're all
And
gay.
I don't think that's good for the gay community or for
But
anybody to be
Let-
thinking that just because two people are same-sex and they're close friends, they have to be in a relationship
Let
with
me
each
tell you
other.
why this is really hits at the core of me is because I have small children. And I think we just constantly dig at the fiber of innocence.
We do.
We dig
We
at the Bert and Ernie, 5-year-olds, they don't know anything. And I love what the article said, at this point, making Bert and Ernie married would dig at the core of their political values at 5. They can think whatever they want to,
And I
but
think,
now,
piggybacking off of that, I think that until you start bringing it up,
right.
people and kids in particular aren't going to start thinking of these issues. But if you're like, oh, hey, did you know that they're gay? Oh, hey, and now
Right.
they're talking about it and now placing judgment one way or the other, now all of a sudden that starts making them think when they're watching, as opposed to just being kids, oh, am I going to not be liked if I like them? Should I like them? What am I
Right.
doing? And
Nobody
where is the
in-
innocence?
But not
Who-
just that, nobody on Sesame Street is married. Hello. There was like, what? Who was ever married? Like even the couple, there was one couple when I was growing up that were married, but they never really even hinted on that. You kind of just thought everybody was friends and everybody kind of just lived in this little land. So why are we pinpointing that now?
PBS made it very clear, Bert and Ernie
Are
are
friends.
friends.
Yes.
Yes.
So, speaking of not being friends and having a baby, making a baby, the Fox host that came back from maternity leave, she had a little tit for tat with her host because pretty much he talked about her on TV saying that maternity leave was a racket.
What?
Jackie, what do you think about that?
I think it's disrespectful to women everywhere, quite frankly, because that is something that is natural. It's Mother Nature. This is what women do. Are we just supposed to throw the baby to the side? Ah, popped it out. Let me keep going.
But also, aside from the bonding aspect, there's actual physical healing that
Yes,
has to happen.
yes, that's
And I'm
another
sorry
point.
that I can't just be a guy and wake up and just say, oh, cool, I can, pee standing up, so this means that
Right.
I don't have to worry about anything.
Right.
Like when you have a kid, I don't have one yet, but from what I know, I've been in deliveries.
There is a lot of
there's
work.
a lot of pain.
And
Oh,
breastfeeding
and
is very
too,
important.
you know.
And
But
women have
wait
to
a minute.
breastfeed like
Leave
every
is available
2
to
hours.
anyone. Maternity
Okay,
leave
but-
can be given to men or women, whether
Right.
they
Yes,
are
it
adopted or
could.
they give birth
That's
naturally.
true.
So it's not like this is just something for women; it's for anybody.
Because
But
it
he
is a
wanted
bonding
us to go back
situation,
to
right.
the 1800s where you had your baby, you pushed it out, you tied it up, and you went back and you picked your cotton. That's where it sounds
Well,
like he
then
wants us
I-
to
You
go
know what
back
though?
to.
Here's the problem with that. There were a group of people that were not picking cotton and did stay home with their children. They
I'm
were
just
only a
saying.
certain
Here's my
point.
thing. If he wants
yeah.
us to go back, then what he should do too is get a rifle and go hunting for his dinner every night.
Right.
Make it fair. Let's make it
Exactly.
fair.
Start chopping some wood, build the homes once
Come on
again.
now.
Right.
Okay,
And
so
all women just stay barefoot and pregnant all the time.
Sure.
Well, speaking of some crazy stuff, the siblings in Florida, Bonnie Clyde and the gangster.
You know
That's what I call Bonnie Clyde and the
And
gangster.
there must be something in the Florida water because first Casey Anthony is from Florida, and then these siblings
Yeah.
are from
I
Florida.
think they're
so-
I'm not
trying to
drinking the
figure
Florida
out,
orange juice anymore.
But see, here's the problem. This is a good one. Here's the problem. I think it's that kids are being raised in a society where they don't want to have a traditional job as being a
Right.
doctor or a lawyer. They're
true.
like, I want my own reality show. I want my sex
That's
tape.
true.
I want to be on the
True.
And they
news.
probably will
Media
make a movie out of
obsessed.
these siblings. I mean, these are good-looking
Exactly.
kids. And this is like perfect for Lifetime movie of the week. The siblings in Florida
You
who
know
are
what I
going on a
mean?
crime spree.
Right.
But let
You
me
know,
ask
this is
you,
ridiculous.
do you think, did the parents go wrong somewhere?
Well,
I mean, it's a possibility. I don't know their upbringing, so I can't pinpoint it. But with everything that a child does, in my opinion, the parents play a role. You do have a part in your child's upbringing, and if a kid goes far left field, either they're crazy and they just haven't been diagnosed, or you haven't been paying attention.
And
Well,
the
and
fact
I
that it's
think-
3 siblings, not just one kid out of the family, but if there's 3 children in the same family, how are these children
But
raised?
also, if you look at the fact that they actually have a shelter, a bunker shelter,
Yes.
that the girl was posting pictures of her very scantily clad the day
Right.
before in this bikini on her Flickr account, on her Facebook. She's like, I'm a redneck and proud. Like, as a parent, this is why I always say, if you're a parent, get a Facebook account. I don't care what the kids say.
you know what, here's
like
the problem.
monitor them and be
Yes,
like being
and I
able to
agree.
have this
But here's
conversation.
the other issue with that is that some of the parents partake in their kids' craziness. For example, I was watching a show this week, and it's a reality show with a whole bunch of girls that live together. Anyway, to get to the point, the girl got into a fight with somebody, and her mom gets on the phone and said, "You did whip her, you know what, and da-da-da, you better
know
get up
what?
and, you know."
On that one, as
you
a
know,
parent,
that's what I'm
we
saying.
are going to
That's
stop
what I'm
right
saying.
there. Our view and I will be right back with Everyway Woman.
Stay with us. We'll be right back with more Everyway Woman. Here's Everyway Woman.
Welcome back to Everyway Women. I'm Liza, and this is Women in the Media. Now, ladies, what a week it's been with the ladies in the media.
It has.
Stirring it up. Okay, let's just get right to it, right off the bat.
Why did you start with me and Casey Anthony? The most hated woman in person
Yes,
in
she
America,
is.
and I was the #1 vote caster.
I think you and I can fight for that one because, ooh, don't get me started on that
You know
one.
what? I wouldn't have even voted her as most hated person. I don't even want to talk about her no more because people do horrible things every day of the year, and to
Yes.
continue to focus on this one
That's
person
true, because now they
is
have like
ridiculous.
face masks for Halloween supposedly
Yeah.
coming out.
Oh my
so
gosh,
it's like,
really?
are we? Yeah, they're supposedly going to make a face
No,
mask
no.
for the kids to wear.
No, no,
and I'm
no,
like,
no.
if you come to my house with that on, you're
I'm
like,
sorry,
I'm not
no
going to
candy,
say.
candy.
No,
No candy, huh?
no, you're going to get a little more than
Let
that.
me just actually put a personal plea out there, America. Please don't. The best thing you can do for this
From
woman is
Liza
to give her
Moreno
no
Morales.
attention.
Well,
Seriously.
but she had to
Right.
go back to Florida because she had to serve a year probation for her check fraud.
Well,
Yeah.
which was so interesting, though, is
Right.
that her defense team was actually trying to get her off and saying that she served probation while she was in
Exactly.
jail. When do you ever serve probation in jail? I'm
It doesn't make any sense
lady,
at all.
Are you okay? And I appreciated and was so grateful for the judge who actually stood up and said,
Right.
you know, her defense team was making a mockery of our legal system.
Yes.
Even trying to
Absolutely.
push for that.
I
I mean,
thought
that
was
whole
fantastic.
case made a mockery of our legal
It
system.
was
Let's just be
just-
honest.
exactly.
I mean, I know that the loopholes that they use to get her off and everything, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, wow.
Wow. You know?
Now, I know we could probably go on
And about that,
forever
yes.
on her, but speaking also about politics and our legal system, someone that's really trying to change things up a little bit is Michelle Bachmann.
Yeah.
Now, you know, personal politics aside, whether or not you agree with her
I was
or
waiting,
not,
Liza.
I actually, though, am very offended by the cover of
Yes,
her on
I was
Newsweek.
too.
Oh, I did
Why
not
did
see
they
that
need to make her look like she was cray-cray?
And the top caption says the Queen of Rage.
Right.
So she looked deranged, and
Right.
the Queen of Rage. Newsweek
But
knew
you
what
know
they
what
were
though?
doing.
That is our
biased.
new. That's the way that politics are kind of going. When it comes to people trying to run for anything or get into office, it seems like
No.
they're
But
going
I don't
crazier and
think
crazier.
so. You know what?
I
I
don't
will
agree.
With the way they're trying to make them
beg
look.
to differ
The problem
because if
with
it
the
was a
magazine,
man,
though,
Thank you.
is that who's going to buy the magazine? Her fans. But why would her fans buy it if she's looking crazy and the title is Queen of Rage? So
Yeah.
now nobody is going to buy this.
but what's interesting though is, and what they're saying is, look what they did when Sarah Palin was on the cover. They also made her look, you know, a little bit crazy. Again, not saying that I like Sarah Palin. I'm just saying.
But at the same time,
there
right.
also
I
needs
understand.
to be some type of fairness standard because if it had been a male candidate, there's
Right.
no way out of all the pictures that they took,
Yeah.
you can't tell me that that was the best one.
Exactly.
That they
No,
took. You know what I
absolutely
mean? And
not.
that's kind of
Absolutely
what's
not.
sad. And when they actually asked the people of Newsweek, like, why would you have approved this and why
Yeah.
are you calling her the Queen of Rage? I love the backpedaling that came out, which was like,
Right.
oh no, we're not calling her the Queen of Rage. We're saying that her cause causes rage.
But
And
the thing
Right.
is, like,
Yes.
when you just see the title, that's not what you're going to think. Like, oh, well, it's this or it's that. They're just going to say,
Especially
this is biased media, and we're not going to buy
When
into
you
it.
look at the face, I mean,
Oh,
her
but
eyes
people
look
are.
like she's on that stuff.
well, and as
You
a
know what,
mom,
though?
wouldn't you say though? I mean, again, not putting the politics aside, whether she should be in office
We
or
got
not.
it. We
but
got it,
I'm
Liza.
just saying, with her on the cover,
Yes.
like if anything, I love seeing women running for something. I
Absolutely.
want it
I
to be a
absolutely-
valid
Right.
candidate because I want to be able to inspire future generations that this is something they can aspire to.
Absolutely.
But if we're going to always make fun of women candidates,
Then what's
Every
the
time.
point?
Who
You're
wants to
absolutely
run?
right.
If maybe it depends on the woman candidate that has an office, you know, that's a bad thing to say that. But I mean, it's also what people think, and if a
look
lot
at
of
Hillary
people,
Clinton,
Right,
that's
they
all
did
I'm
it to
saying.
her,
Even
too.
Hillary Clinton
It is
made
true.
her
They-
look
oh, I
bad.
didn't
It's
see
the
that.
double
that
standard.
It's the double
magazine.
standard.
okay, again, whew, don't get me started
Okay,
on
well, I
these
didn't
people.
see that
Oh my
one with
gosh,
Now
good
we'll
one.
go to a little bit of fluff. We'll loosen it up a little bit.
Yes.
What about Kim Kardashian and getting married? I
Oh.
mean, can we hate on the girl for just making
You
her
know,
opening
I
an envelope
absolutely
a
wouldn't
media event?
hate on her because actually, you know what, she's doing it. She's doing it.
Right.
Like she became famous off of what nobody
what?
knows. I mean, we know. Okay.
Can
We
I
know,
ask you,
but-
Kim, how can I be down?
But at the same time,
She's a very
is this
good
the focus
businesswoman, a good
that we're?
businesswoman.
Yeah, she's a very good businesswoman as far as like selling herself and sex. But that's really how the media. Well, go back to the Newsweek with Michelle Bachmann.
Right.
That's how they want us to look. Like if we're not looking like that, then we got to look crazy. So my thing is that they're trying to.
But
You know,
Kim is using it to her advantage, though, which I
Yeah.
like. She's able to utilize everything that the media tries to make her look like, and she's just like, okay, this is me, I'll go with it. They
But
want
I
to flaunt
think
this and flaunt that.
but
she
that's how
makes
the
money.
media wants women
But
to be.
but I also think that she isn't the first to do it, and I don't
No,
think
she's
she'll be the
definitely
last.
not.
She definitely took a page out of Star
Star
Jones'
Jones.
Yeah.
book
Did
because
and
she
did it well.
Definitely.
and she made sure she got her stuff for free.
Right.
She was out there
Exactly.
promoting. So I mean, Vera Wang isn't cheap. So
No.
and I know that she's not paying for Vera. So it's how do you promote yourself and not sell out? I guess is the question.
Yeah,
Right.
because the
Look what
crazy
she's
part,
got,
she's
and
just.
she is
She
getting
has
a
the
lot.
perfume bottles at $100 a piece. She only made so many. Believe me, they're going to be
Right.
sold out,
But then
and nobody's mad.
Then you have to ask about this because she's an icon. She's kind of an idol, so that means children look up to her.
Stop it with
And
the
things-
icon.
I mean,
Yeah,
let's
you
be
are.
honest.
That
well,
was
not an
wrong.
icon. Sorry,
Inappropriately placed.
not an
She
icon.
does have
Audrey
the
Hepburn
West
For
is an icon.
younger generations, that's how they're going to look at her. My
As
thing
an
is,
icon?
Okay, we're gonna just stop there before it even gets more heated.
I don't
would
agree. Not
say.
me personally. I'm just saying that's a bad figure
I
or
hear
role
you,
model. I'm
but
saying.
to me, my
in my
personal
opinion.
icon still remains Audrey Hepburn. You can be classy and be sassy.
And I agree, 1,000%.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back after this.
Stay with us. We'll be right back with more Everyway Woman.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans.
These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids.
Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. But so is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Yeah. That's it.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. When you adopt a child from foster care, just being there makes all the difference.
Welcome back. Joining us today is fitness and nutrition guru Roxy Beckles. Roxy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you
and
for
let me
having
be the
me.
first to say, you look fabulous.
Yes, thank
I'm
you.
a little intimidated sitting over here,
I love
but
that.
you look fabulous.
Thank
It's like
you.
her
Thank
slogan,
you very
muscles
much.
are sexy.
Muscles
Yes,
are
they are.
sexy.
Muscle is the new sexy.
Muscle
Yes,
is the new
I
sex.
agree.
And we're going to talk
Absolutely.
about that. But thank you for joining us on Everyway
Thank you
Woman.
very much. I'm very happy to be here.
So we're going to ask you some questions about nutrition and advice. Give us some
Okay.
advice.
Give you some advice. It's not as hard as everyone thinks.
Oh.
All right. It's,
Because that is a misconception.
that is, it is a misconception, you
Because,
know. A lot of people think it's very hard to incorporate a healthy lifestyle into what they're doing. I think a lot of it has to do with fear, though, and maybe not knowing what to do. But what I like to tell a lot of my clients is just jump head in, be confident, you know, and just learn how to make it part of your everyday. So that way it's not a feat, you know.
Okay.
So that's
yeah.
a
What
good
would you
point that
say
you
are
just
some
hit
of
on.
the, misconceptions that people have when it comes to health and fitness, some things that people maybe need some clarification on.
Clarification on one of my biggest pet peeves. Ladies, if you want to change your bodies, if you want to have what I have, you got to push weight.
Okay.
Right?
Push weight.
Push weight. Push weight.
Roxy, push
Yeah.
rate?
I'll
Okay,
have a
talk
question
to
for
me.
you,
Listen,
Roxy.
if it doesn't feel like work, it likely isn't working.
It's not working.
It's not working.
I have a question about the calorie factor because I know that plays a plays a role when you're trying to lose and then gain muscle.
Yes.
Like, how important is calorie intake for like people who are, you know?
To be honest with you, it's very important.
Okay.
I mean, you can literally negate all of the things, all of the progress and stuff that you're trying to create in the gym. It can be negated the moment you step outside and put the wrong thing in your mouth.
Really?
So absolutely, absolutely. Because I mean, the bottom line is this: the body is a very, very smart being. It's a very, very smart instrument.
Right.
In order to put on muscle, you got to eat more.
Okay.
But more of the right things.
I have a question though. What are your thoughts on like the protein shakes and and those type of things.
They have their place, but your entire diet should not be made out of protein shakes.
Okay.
Food is a very important aspect of health and nutrition. I think we've gotten to a point where we're too hung on what can I do that's quick? What can I do?
Right.
The
That's me.
diets.
That's
Yeah.
me, Miss Roxy. That's me.
Thank you for breaking that misconception, because a lot of women out there always want to find the quick thing. How can I lose weight so fast?
Right.
And also the other question I have for you is that the importance of losing weight at a moderate pace versus trying to drop it, because it'll just come back, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. The more moderate you can make this process, the less you have to fight against your body to get to your goals, meaning it shouldn't be necessarily a huge struggle. You shouldn't have to starve yourself to death.
Right.
You shouldn't be trying to lose it by tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know.
Maybe the next day, though?
No. It's going to take a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, you know. But the longer you can allow your body to kind of naturally drop in, as I say, the likelier the chances that you're actually going to keep it off for the long
I
run.
have a question. What about foods? Are there any foods in particular you need to stay away from, or that are like power foods that you should just eat like crazy because they're really good for you?
I believe everything can be eaten in moderation. Moderation
Even
is the
chocolate?
key. Even chocolate,
Okay.
especially dark chocolate.
In moderation.
Don't get me started on chocolate. I love chocolate. It's over.
I also have a
Roxy,
question
let me
about,
ask you a question.
Yes.
We've talked about food and nutrition, but I really, this is serious from my heart.
Absolutely.
For a woman like myself, and probably a lot of our viewing audience, what advice could you give to a person like myself who says, I'm finally committed. I'm tired of looking like I'm 9 months pregnant and my baby is 8 years old. I'm committed to my nutrition and my lifestyle. What can you tell me? What do I need to do?
First of all, that commitment and that embracing for change is important, and it's important to remember that moment, because I think what happens with a lot of women is that you start up, you see some results, and then maybe things start to slow down, or life happens, you know, you can't get to the gym, and then boom, you're back to square one because you've stopped. You know, so remembering that commitment to yourself and the reasons why you've decided to change will help you later on down the line. The other thing that I have to say is just to take it slow. You know, don't try to go all out 7 days a week, 15 hours a day trying to work it out. You have to let these things happen at a moderate pace. We just talked about
What would
that.
you
But
say
even
is
with
the-
getting into exercise as
As
well.
you're
would you say
making
is the
goals,
best?
how often do you need to exercise? Does it have to be a daily basis?
Right, or should it
how
be like every
often
other
should you be
day? That's what I was
exercising?
gonna ask.
I like to tell my women to go ahead and maybe try about 4 days a week if you
start.
can. But again, it's all about your schedule and your availability.
And another question
Here's
I
what we're
have for
going to
you
do.
about muscle.
Actually, this is what I like to do. You have so many wonderful things we like to ask you. We're going to go to a commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk to more about Roxy about breaking the rules. We'll be right back.
Stay with us. We'll be right back with more Everyway Woman.
Across America, Service Learning is helping students improve their grades and their communities by connecting the classroom with community service. Working together, students solve real problems, build new skills, and apply their knowledge in a whole new way. Inside the classroom and out, Service Learning opens new doors and brings learning to life. Get your school involved. Visit learnandserve.gov to find out how.
Here's Everyway Woman.
We're back with Roxy Beckles, fitness and nutrition guru. Roxy, you just did something very phenomenal that classifies as breaking the rules. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I won the 2011 California State NPC Championships.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I was the E-class winner, so I won my height class, first place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell us, what did that entail? Because I saw the pictures, and girl, you look bad, okay?
Thank you very
You were
much.
phenomenal.
It entailed a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of me wanting to have a nice glass of wine and not being able to. But it was, you know, I am a competitor. I've been competing since actually only 2010, but I've been able to.
Really?
Yeah, I've actually been able to do quite well in this short time.
But you've been into the whole
but I've
bodybuilding
been
for a long time.
14 years as a fitness enthusiast, as a fitness professional, as a trainer.
Okay.
But I decided to take it to the next level and start competing.
Now talk about how that goes with your muscle. Muscle is the new sexy. Talk about that.
Yes, Muscle is the New Sexy is my personal campaign to get women up and off their butts and get in the gym, push some weights to see changes for their bodies.
Nice.
Get a lot of women that ask me, how do I have what you have? That's really about just working hard, pushing some real weight, you know, dropping the baby weights. There's a time and a place for that, but challenging themselves 100%.
And I have a question, because, you know, you look really great, muscular, very strong. Now, personal question: does that intimidate men?
Honey,
breaking the rules. Breaking all the rules.
I might intimidate a couple of guys, but I've been intimidating men long before I had big muscles. But the strong guys who are confident in themselves, not so much.
Right.
The ones that probably shouldn't be talking to me anyway. Yeah, probably.
You get
so.
rid of, you weed them out.
There you go. Weed them up very
So
easily.
The whole concept of breaking the rules just shows what you're doing against what society says is sexy.
Yes.
What do you think about that, though? Still in society today, some people would say that a really muscular woman equals masculine, and that's just too much. What would you say to that?
I'm trying to really influence people to embrace an athletic physique. In actuality, you're 100% right. Sometimes when I still walk out in the street, I still hear the voice, the things behind my ears, like, oh, look at her, she must be on steroids or whatever, she could probably beat me up, which is probably true. However,
so they know.
Right. They know not
Right.
to. But I mean, I think we've gotten to a place in our society where people are just not used to seeing athletic physiques, or people,
women,
right,
yeah.
or women actually who are in
One of my questions for you is,
shape.
like, you look fabulous, you look feminine, you have a very pretty face,
Right.
Thank
but
you.
then you have the muscles. So how do you kind of balance between, I know you have like the clothing line, you do the bodybuilding, you do so many things. I mean, that right there is breaking all the rules, being Wonder Woman, doing everything.
Yeah.
But how do you balance all these wonderful breaking rule things?
I can't even tell you, girl. I can't even tell you.
Yeah,
I mean,
you have the
basically,
time.
I have a passion for what I do,
Right.
and I believe when things are important to you, you make time to do them.
Now, Roxy, I want to say to you, you didn't always start out this way. You were classically trained in dance.
Yes, I was.
And one day you saw a poster, and it just kind of changed your life. Talk a little bit about that to our viewers who maybe kind of think they're in a rut of how just one moment can change their lives.
Absolutely, and I was a dancer. I graduated from Alvin Ailey in New York.
Yes.
I have my BFA in dance for them.
Studied your craft.
So
Good
it
job.
was, hard. It was a hard program, and it taught me a lot of life lessons. But what I realized is that I didn't want to be a professional dancer. And when I was in high school as a teenager, I used to watch those shows on ESPN. It wasn't
I
a
know
poster;
which
it was
ones,
the shows on those the fitness competitions, the
Yes.
girls
Yes.
flipping and all that stuff.
Yes.
So I knew that I wanted to do it for at least 10 years before I decided to jump in and do it. What I would say to women is that, life is short.
Okay.
It is.
And you really
Absolutely.
just
I
got to
agree.
do what you
love.
love and
I
what
agree.
you want to do, and if fitness and embracing that lifestyle is it, then go off and do it. It takes just that one moment to make the decision to say, I want to empower my life, I want to do this.
I agree.
And that's exactly
Can
what
I
I've done
ask
for
you one
myself.
quick thing before we
the
go?
dancing background and now doing the bodybuilding, are there any similarities between the
Oh, yes.
dance and the bodybuilding?
Absolutely, being on stage with the bodybuilding, or rather with my figure competitions.
Figure competitions.
Figure
is what it's
competitions,
called.
right. It's nothing but performing. It's nothing but
Right.
showing who you are, your personality, and just being glamorous.
Yes.
Wow, Roxy. I tell you, I was joking, and I was just saying, sitting here by the three of you, I feel, but I know I'm still fine and fabulous.
Girl, you are beautiful.
But, I like what you say about that commitment.
Absolutely.
That women have to make that decision, and you can talk about it all day long, and I can say it all day long, but until I make the commitment to say, I'm utterly disgusted about what I see, and I want to make a change,
Absolutely.
there won't be a change.
There won't be.
And I think that that's so phenomenal. Any parting words you'd have for our viewing audience?
My parting words, just do it, girls.
I love
Embrace
it.
yourself and do it. Absolutely.
Wow. Roxy, thank you for joining
You're welcome.
us.
Thank you
I
for
want
having
you to know
me.
that you are always a friend of Everywhere Woman. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us today. We'd like to thank our special guests, Audrey Kelly and Roxy Beckles. But most importantly, we'd like to thank you for watching Everywhere Woman. Good night.
This has been an Everyway Woman production.